Tina Turner wasn't just a music icon. She was also a mother of 4 sons: Craig, Ike Jr., Michael, Ronnie. Each lived very different lives, shaped by Tina's tumultuous marriage to Ike Turner. 2 of her sons died tragically before her. The other 2 faced their own struggles. Today we're looking at what happened to Tina Turner's 4 children. Heartbreak, healing, the bond between a mother and her sons. Craig Raymond Turner, loneliness and suicide. August 29th, 1958. Craig Raymond Turner is born. Tina is still Anna Mae Bullock, 18 years old, a young girl in love. The father is Raymond Hill, saxophonist. He plays in Ike Turner's band. But Raymond abandons Tina before Craig is born, returns to Mississippi. Young Tina raises her baby alone. 1962. Tina marries Ike Turner. Ike adopts Craig, gives him his last name. Now, Craig Raymond Turner. Ike becomes the father figure. Biological father Raymond Hill is never around, dies in 1996. Craig grows up in the middle of Ike and Tina's famous and turbulent life. It's not easy. Craig is a sensitive soul. Craig was a very emotional kid, Tina says. He reacted with sadness to the turmoil between us. Little Craig sees his mother suffering. Ike's violence, fear, stress. Tina recalls a heartbreaking memory. Craig, still a little boy, intervenes during a violent fight. He gently knocks on the door. "Mom, are you okay?" he asks. "At that moment, my heart broke," Tina says. "I didn't even want my children to hear the abuse, let alone need to step in." Those who knew Craig describe him as kind and caring, shy, introverted. From a young age, he protected his mother. 1976. Tina finally leaves Ike. Craig's life slowly stabilizes. He's now 18, high school graduate. He decides to serve his country, enlists in the U.S. Navy. After the military, he becomes a real estate agent in Los Angeles, an ordinary but stable profession, far from his parents' fame. Craig seems to be doing well, lives a quiet life, builds his own identity. But even as an adult, Craig carries emotional wounds. Tina says, "Something from Craig's childhood followed him through life. I wasn't sure exactly what demons he was fighting." Late 2010s. Craig is nearly 60. A happy period seems to be starting. He starts a new job at a prestigious real estate firm, and he tells his mother he met a special woman, a new girlfriend. He's feeling emotions he's never felt before. Craig is excitedly planning to introduce this woman to Tina for his upcoming birthday. "I've never felt this way about a woman," Craig tells his mother. Tina is filled with joy. Her son seems to have finally found true happiness. What happened next is a terrible shock. July 3rd, 2018. Craig Raymond Turner commits suicide, 59 years old. He's found in his Los Angeles home, self-inflicted gunshot. Tina is devastated. "I still don't know what took him to the edge," she says in an interview a few months later. Craig's new job and blossoming romance weren't enough to pull him from the darkness. "Craig was lonely. That's what got him more than anything else," Tina says sadly. Looking back, there were subtle signs. Their last few phone conversations were different. In the very last call, Craig tells his mother, "I just want to hear your voice in that laugh." He'd never said anything like that before. Tina now feels that was his way of saying goodbye. Craig's death is an almost unbearable blow to Tina. She scatters his ashes off the California coast with family and friends. "My saddest moment as a mother," she says, standing on the boat, saying a final goodbye to her firstborn. Tina is overcome with grief. "He was 59 when he died, but he'll always be my baby," she writes in an emotional farewell. Ike Turner Jr., Music and Distance, 1958. 58. Ike Turner Jr. is born, 1962. Tina enters Ike Jr.'s life when she marries his father, Ike Sr. Ike Jr. is the son of Ike Sr. and his former partner Lorraine Taylor, a small child at the time. Tina adopts him and raises him. "Tina raised me from the age of 2. She's the only mother I've ever known," Ike Jr. says later. Young Ike Jr. grows up on the road and in recording studios, right in the middle of Ike and Tina's musical career. He has his father's musical talent. His first instrument is drums, but as a little boy, he gets tired of constantly packing up his drum kit, switches to piano. Eventually, he plays everything: drums, piano, guitar, bass, a multi-instrumentalist like his dad. At 13, his father pulls him out of school, goes on tour. Imagine being barely a teenager. Suddenly, you're traveling traveling and performing with the Ike and Tina Turner Review. I ended up running his recording studio, plus going on the road with them, he says. But life with his father is harsh. When Tina leaves Ike in 1976, Ike Jr. is caught in the middle. He tries to work as Tina's sound engineer, but Ike Sr. gets angry. "My father was so mad. He beat me in the head with a pistol to stop me from helping Tina," Ike Jr. says. "He beat me with a nickel-plated .45. Shocking. Ike Sr.'s temper is dangerous even against his own son. Despite the family drama, Ike Jr. finds his own path in music, becomes a producer and performer. 2006, he wins a Grammy for his father's blues album, Risin' with the Blues, Best Traditional Blues Album. He's proud. In the 2010s, he's performing in a tribute band called The Love Thang. But when it comes to family, the story is bittersweet. As Tina's solo career takes off and she builds a new life in Europe, Ike Jr. feels left behind. 1985. They barely hear from Tina. "I know she's busy, but I don't know why she hasn't called," he tells a reporter. "It kind of feels like she's neglecting us, at least us three, me, Michael, and Ronnie." In those days, Tina only stays close with Craig. 2018. Ike Jr. reveals he hasn't spoken to Tina in about 20 years. "I haven't talked to my mother since God knows when, probably around 2000, he says. "My mother is living her life. She has a new husband, and she's in Europe. She doesn't want to have anything to do with the past." Ike Jr. feels a deep sense of abandonment. "All I try to do is do the right thing with the name. I go out there and do my best," he says. May 2023. Just weeks before Tina's passing, Ike Jr. makes headlines for the wrong reasons. He's arrested for possession of crack cocaine, tries to tamper with evidence, attempts to eat the drugs. He's sentenced to a brief jail term. He's behind bars when news of Tina's death breaks. His sentence begins just 18 days before Tina dies. Mother and son are completely out of touch at the end. Heartbreaking. Michael Turner. Silent struggle. 1959. Michael Turner is born. Ike Jr.'s younger brother, the second son of Ike Sr. and Lorraine Taylor. Tina adopts Michael too, raises him alongside Ike Jr. Michael is always the most private and quiet one, stays away from the spotlight. He's deeply affected by the breakdown of Tina and Ike's marriage. He's still a teenager when Tina leaves Ike in 1976. The family upheaval hits Michael hard. He struggles to cope. Mid-1980s. Ike Jr. says in an interview, "Michael wanted my mother and father to get back together, and the next thing I knew he was in the hospital. He was hurt by their being apart." Ike Jr. says about his brother, "Michael yearns for a reconciliation that's never going to happen. He doesn't handle the loss of their family unit well." As an adult, Michael faces further challenges. He reportedly deals with addiction in his later years. In a rare quote, Michael says, "I know in my heart, if I called Tina or my father Ike right now, they would come and help me, but I just can't do it. Tina was really good to me, and I love her, but I can't live with anybody. I got to be free to do what I want to do." This poignant statement suggests Michael distanced himself by choice. Maybe he didn't want to burden his mother. One thing stands out. Although Tina doesn't visit Michael in person, she supports him financially. Even if their relationship is distant, Tina quietly makes sure Michael's medical bills are taken care of. She hasn't abandoned him. She helps from afar, possibly respecting the personal space he seemed to want. Ronnie Turner. Loss and Goodbyes. October 27th, 1960. Los Angeles. Ronnie Turner is born. He grows up amid wealth and opportunity. Thanks to his parents' rising stardom, Ronnie was put through private schools, allowances, clothes, and everything you can give a kid, Tina says. By the time Ronnie comes of age, Tina and Ike are at the top of the music world. But sometimes having everything isn't enough. Ronnie was determined to be self-destructive, Tina says in 1989. "You have to draw the line. I keep an eye on him." In his youth, Ronnie tests boundaries, gets into trouble, falls into the wrong crowd, struggles with drug use. California wasn't good for him. He was very influenced by drugs, Tina says in 1986. He has a few run-ins with the law. Tina cuts Ronnie off financially in the 1980s. Tough love, but she never completely lets go. She keeps a string to find out what's going on with Ronnie, quietly sends help if he really needs it. Eventually, her approach seems to work. 1990s. Ronnie starts to stand on his own 2 feet, gets his life on track. 1997. Tina happily reports, All her kids, including Ronnie, are doing much better. There were a few problems with drugs with the youngest Ronnie, but now they're doing fine, she tells Larry King. Ronnie turns to music, becomes a bass guitarist, plays in a band called Manufactured Funk, 1993. He has a small cameo in the biographical film about his mom. What's love got to do with it? 2000s. Ronnie's life seems relatively stable. He has 2 children. Tina becomes a grandmother. March 2007. Ronnie finds love, marries French singer Ike Turner. He's 46. Ike and Ronnie appear to be a happy couple. My true angel and best friend, Ike says about Ronnie. They split their time between the US and France. A relatively quiet life. In his later years, Ronnie faces serious health issues. 2022. At age 62, Ronnie Turner dies from complications of colon cancer, combined with cardiovascular disease. December 8, 2022. His death comes less than 6 months before Tina's own passing. Tina is devastated, loses her beloved son, says Ronnie left the world far too early. She shares an emotional farewell with a black and white photo. Tina has to endure yet another unimaginable pain for a mother. Burying a second child, fans around the world mourn with her. Tina once again shows incredible strength in the face of tragedy. 4 sons, 1 legend. 4 sons, 4 different stories. Craig, sensitive soul, witnessed Ike's violence. Real estate agent, loneliness, suicide at 59. Ike Jr, musician, Grammy winner, didn't speak to Tina for 20 years. Arrested, in jail when Tina died. Michael, the quietest, breakdown, addiction, strokes, wheelchair, convalescent home. Ronnie, drug struggle, musician, marriage to Ike, cancer, died at 62, May 24, 2023. Tina Turner dies, 83 years old, in Switzerland. 2 sons died before her, Craig and Ronnie. 2 sons left behind, Ike Jr. and Michael. Tina's legacy, music. Proud Mary. What's love got to do with it? Simply the best. But also 4 sons, struggles, losses, complex relationships. Ike Turner's violence didn't just affect Tina, it affected the whole family. The children were wounded. Tina escaped, built a new life, but there was distance with the sons. Craig and Ronnie died. Tina shed tears for both. My saddest moment as a mother, she said about Craig. 2023, when Tina died, the world lost a legend, but 4 sons lost their mother. She wasn't perfect, but she was their mother. Tina Turner, queen of music, survivor, but also a mother. Mother of 4 sons. Their stories are tragic, but real. The darkness behind Hollywood's glitter.